Good morning, everyone. Hope we're all doing okay. We had a pretty interesting session yesterday. No trades. So I think today we should see some good stuff. Already got some pretty good setups coming on. So I think, like I said, we might see some good moves in the markets. Just having a look here quickly. So first of all, what we're seeing here is the Aussie US dollar, so AD USD. We're looking for a petition to the downside. Now we're sitting at this current support. And obviously, markets just opened 10 minutes ago, so obviously you guys can see spreads are wide. We'll wait for them to tighten up again before we start to drop down. So kind of expecting hopefully a close below here in the next half an hour, and then if we can continue to push further lower, just need to keep in mind of this sort of support/resistance zone coming up. And that's the one thing we need to keep in mind. Other than that, I think this will be a pretty good move. If we have a look on the higher term time frames, let's have a quick look on the hourly. We can see it's pretty much just that wick we're looking at. This is really nice. We had that sort of retest and push back down. Now, like I said, I do really want to see a close of the candle below the zone. 4-hourly time frame looks pretty good too. Looks good to the downside. If we can go below this wick, we do start to get some traffic. So this is ideally the move we want to move into. If we do happen to go a bit lower, we can look to go to about one. Point, I would say roughly a good target would be just above 0.76. So a nice psychological level, and hopefully we can push back up to that one. Let's have a quick look. So we'll go to a JPY as well. Bit of a consolidation on this 4-hourly time frame. Let's have a look at the hourly, see if we can see anything. So yeah, again, we're kind of stuck in consolidation. Don't really trade any of this unless it breaks down below zones. I'm not really liking this chart. Just have a quick look. Yeah, I think the keyboard's actually pretty loud as well. I need to figure out, look for a better place to put this mic. I just recently got a new mic, so it's pretty good quality, but it's picking up my keyboard sound. So I'll see if I can eliminate that as we keep going, as we move forward. But anyway, so this market, we're kind of stuck in this consolidation. If I just get our zones out, we can kind of see where I wouldn't trade anything above, well, below here. I want to trade everything, like that's where I want to go. I want to be below or above these zones. Need to be a bit aware of that one up there. But other than that, I think I probably won't touch this chart until we see breaks above or below. If we zoom out a bit, you'll see it's pretty deep, pretty bad consolidation. But again, if we break below, nothing really. We're setting up for some pretty decent. There's some pretty decent supports coming up, so I'm not really too keen on that. But to the upside, we can see if we get past that high, we do actually have nice clean traffic going up. So yeah, looks pretty good. But let's have a look at some other pairs as well. So obviously, AD USD will probably be the pair that I'm looking at to trade today. Looks the best if we can stay below this support. If not, if it does start to go above, we can look for some shorter movements to the upside. But ideally, we want this market to move. I want it to move down. KJPY looks good to the upside as well. We're starting to see some nice rejection of the zone. We had like a break in the retest. So you can see here, it's pretty decent. We got a nice, good retracement in here. Now, again, we need to keep in mind of the spread. But the thing is, if you're looking to trade to the downside, right, you also the spread actually kind of comes into play, like later on. But if you're looking to buy when the spread's wide, then it comes into play straight away. So what I mean by that is, because when you buy, you get into that your bid line, your ask line, which is the spread there at the top. So if you buy, you already get like quite a big part negative, right? And then actually, let me annotate for you guys. So we got the two lines. So we got our let's say where the market is at the moment. So let's say we've got we've got sort of a candles. This is where we are. So the market's currently seeing. Yeah, so that's the actual market price. And then what we're looking at is, so we have the spread as well, which is our ask price. So we got a bid on our ask. Now, if we do take a trade to the upside, we get entered at this price. But if we sell, we get entered at this price. Now, the issue with the buy, so with the buy, if we do take a buy, we get entered at this price, and we got this big sort of section that we're already in negative as soon as we start trading. Where, you know, if the spread does start to tighten, you actually lost a lot of your move already, which is a bit annoying. So that's why we want spreads to be tighter, so you can get like a better entry position. Now, when you sell at the market, you enter here, right? And you exit at this line. So the issue with that is if you take a sell, you'll get entered here, and if you put your stop loss, let's say, you know, a couple of pips above, and this line crosses this area, you'll get stopped out. So the market doesn't have to cross your sell stop loss. This ask line has to cross your stop loss before you get exited. So if that, you know, if the spread widens while you're in a position and it hits your stop loss, you know, you're out of the trade, even if the market hasn't hit your trade, that's really frustrating. So that's why we always want tight spreads. You always want to go. Also try and stick to trading market hours, you know, because if you trade good market hours where the spreads are tighter, then chances of this happening to you are less, right? Chances of having a big spread to exit are less. But anyways, let's have a quick look back at this again. Yeah, so I mean, I want this candle to close above, ideally. So what I want to see is, like, you know, if it closes here, that's pretty good too, because then we can start looking for moves further higher. We can start looking for like retests and everything. You know, this is sort of the structure that we could start looking for. You know, we obviously might get some dojis in here somewhere, and then we can start looking for moves to the upside. So this is actually quite nice because it's rejecting the support. I think we'll look for some good moves. So KJPY, AUD, USD, other two pairs we'll keep in mind. So actually, I'll put that in here. Let me just write this. Don't know if I can save. Okay. So looking at AUD, USD, KJPY. So we're looking for a potential buy and a potential sell. Okay, so this is what we'll look for. Let's have a look ahead. Euro yen, nothing really. I'm not really a big fan of it. It's also stuck consolidation. I mean, if you're like a trend or like take a different technical trader where you look for technical analysis, like channels and stuff, this does look quite. You could look for potential like a channel or maybe another like a what do you call this, triangle, like a wedge or something. You know, that could kind of play out. So obviously, you don't want to trade in this anyway. You want to trade above these zones. And then we always need to keep in mind of these support/resistance areas when you trade inside. Because obviously these will in fact influence your trading, right? How the market moves. I mean, you could always see like little hiccups on these areas. Okay, let's have a look. Something else. Right, just clear all that drawing. Okay, we'll look at GBP JPY. We want to be above. Spreads on this are really big as well, so we want to be above this area. To the downside, we've got big support coming, so we could look for, perhaps moves down further below this. But obviously, there's heaps of traffic in this way to the downside now. So I'd rather just stick to. I'll just stick to looking for a potential move to the upside and, not look to the downside. Okay. So nothing there, nothing GBP JPY. Let's have a look at USD JPY. Still nice. It's quite nice to the upside actually. But I mean, this is not really setting up too much. We've got a bit of a consolidation happening here, but for me, I don't really see anything that I like. There's nothing really. Once we start breaking out of the zone, we could maybe look for something. But I don't really. There's nothing really that looks attractive to me. This maybe start on the hourly is looking quite okay. So if we can get a close like above here with this next hourly candle, and then we can start looking for moves further to the upside, that could be quite nice. But again, if I get a break above here, my spreads are still too wide and there's not enough liquidity or volume in the market, then I won't take the trade. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But the spreads on this USD JPY is looking to tighten quite quickly now, and it tends to be the USD pairs tend to be the ones that the liquidity starts kicking quicker. So hopefully we'll see some moves in that earlier. Or well, we can spot a trade in this one first, because if we can, then obviously this will be the one in which spreads will be the tightest. So we've got our three pairs. I don't think gold will do much. Gold has been moving quite badly. We can see there's heaps of consolidation and just really messy movement. The setup looks okay, but obviously, I think gold won't be open for another, I think half an hour. So we'll wait for, if we can get a close, I think if we can get a close below this support, we can then look for a move to continue for the low. But currently the setup looks like it wants to go to the upside now, because I talk about this a lot, right? I need to get a name for this setup. I'll get a name for it, something simple. We see the big candle to the upside, candle to the downside, then the next one goes halfway above the previous red candle, and then we know markets tend to move up. Now, if this candle was, closed with a wick and then closed below here, then we know markets tend to will sort of look to move to the downside. But so currently it's pointing to the upside, as the structure is. If this red candle closes below here, then we can say, okay, cool, we can start looking to the downside. Okay. Okay, so we'll start looking. You can see spreads on this. So I think this USD JPY are getting pretty good already. But again, we're still stuck in that consolidation. Let's have a so I think my favorite trade right now is still currently this 80 USD. The only thing is like this hourly candle hasn't made a wick to the upside yet. So that's the one thing that I'm not really a big fan of. Let's have a look at the 30-minute time frame. You can see also no wick to the upside. So, but the bonus is if this closes below here with no wick to the upside, then we can be pretty certain the market will kind of look to go to the downside. Obviously, it could still pop up because we're never always 100% right. But if it closes below the support with no wick, which is in about 2 minutes, we could look for some pretty good movements. But I think currently, because trading view spreads are always really tight. So I'll just have a look here on, we can see our spreads here are not the greatest at the moment. I'm still sitting here with about 5 pip spreads. So we'll just wait till this tightens up a bit more. I really don't want to risk my stop being hit with this like a 1 pip move, which would be really frustrating. So, if I do take this trade, I want the stop loss to be, fairly tight. Well, a lot tighter than it is now. But it is looking like a pretty good setup. Looks a little bit different, or with, on my charts, the broker I'm with, because obviously, each broker's got their own liquidity feed, but nonetheless, I still follow the same trend. So it still looks good on both sides. On my one, I've got this, I've got a wick that looks like I've got this, I've got this wick. So, but I mean, that follows pretty in tune with our support slash resistance, because if we look to the left, we're sitting at this sort of support slash resistance zone. So I mean, there's nothing odd about it. I've got this wick as well, which is cool. So everything's the same. It's just always, the opens are always a bit different, because the candle tends to gap up or whatever. I find there are not a lot of not too major extreme moves on trading. I've even got this little small little gap over here. So everything's pretty normal except for that wick, which is all good with me. It sets at support. I mean, if this wick was like up here, something silly like way up here, then I'd be like a little bit concerned. But I mean, up here it's nothing major. So we've got this candle to close, which closed just below. Both my chart and this chart closed just below the support. So this one we can kind of expect to do a bit of a retest and drop. So I could look for a potential trade here. Now let's have a look at our risk reward ratio. And obviously, I mentioned this wick that we have to keep in mind. So I'll just put this position here to kind of have an idea of where our trend will be. So let's say, by the time we finish analyzing this, we'll take an entry here. If I can just stop loss anyway. So our stop loss would be, roughly above here. Obviously, the spread is still fairly wide. So stop loss, we're going to have to keep that in mind when we move our stop loss. So risk reward, our first one is about a 1-to-1 by that wick. So that's all good. Let's have a look at a high term time frame to see if we can get, well, I'll go highest the hour just to look for relevant support resistance. And there's not really anything there. I mean, like I said, if we do drop past this wick, we can look for a potential move back down here. So I'll just put just put a line here. So we've got this. We've got this coming up. I believe that's almost where the wick is from memory. And then we've got this section right over here that we can push to. So we've got two main targets I want to look at. So obviously you can see that first one is where this wick is. So that'll be obviously our first target. And then second target, which is overall target, will be, I would actually put it here in the middle just to be safe. We never really want to overdo it. So we got about a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio at the stage. If we do drop further lower, ideally we can have about a 2.4-to-1 risk reward ratio. So I'll have to have a look here and see how this one plays out. Hourly time frame's got 20 minutes left. Let's have a look at how much time do we have left on 4-hourly time frame. 4-hourly time frame is all good. We've got 3 hours, 10.5 hours left. So 30 minutes. Let's pop to that and then wait for an entry. We can see I'm not really 100% set on this yet. I do want to see at least this candle didn't really close that much lower that I wanted it to close. I do really want to see it close a lot lower than that before I do take a trade. So hopefully if we can get this candle, if it really starts to push, I'll probably look at taking an entry. Maybe depending on my spreads and everything, but currently it's not looking too great for me. But I do, if we can get this next candle to close below here, then that's awesome. Then we can look to take a trade. So that's what I'll wait for. Okay, so let's flick through some other charts. I mean, there's nothing, nothing else. This is not really moving too much now, so remember nothing here. So I said KJPY was one of them. We were looking for a potential buy. It's still kind of struggling. If we do, like I said, get close above here, we could look for a nice move to the upside. But I mean, right now everything's moving pretty slow, so what we can do is we can just wait now for this. This looks quite nice now. It's starting to push up. So let's have a look. Yeah, see, so this CAD US, sorry, it's AUD USD is still kind of getting stuck. So I'm thinking it looks like it's either the USD, sorry, AUD USD. So CAD JPY pushing down, sorry, up. So I think we could look. It could be potentially uh, something else that's moving this, not the Japanese pair. So let's have a look at JPY. Okay, so JPY pushing up as well. Sorry, going down. So I think we could be looking at yen weakness, which is good for our, our Asia session because that we know we can look for potential buy positions where the base currency is not yen. So let's have a look. Also, guys, if you happen to watch the stream, make sure you give that like button. Always helps. If you do, it will get more Hopefully we can get more views like that, and then we, spread the word more, and we'll start being recommended to people, and we can make this group a bit better for everyone else. And so I think now that 80 USD is not really doing what we wanted to, it's started to retest, but it hasn't quite reached what we wanted to do. We can also look at CAD JPY, which looks good. I'm currently, like I said, we're currently sort of stuck in between. Currently stuck in between these two zones. So if we can get a break above, ideally, I want to go above this actually. Above here.
Yo.
Hey mate, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good man. How was dinner?
So right, man. But today I just I feel tired today. I don't know why.
Oh, all right, man. You can go to sleep if you want. You don't have to sit here. You know that. Right?
I'm not that tired. It's like, when not like sleep tired. It's like,
Oh, your
when
brain's
like
just exhausted. Like your
yeah,
brain
bro.
just.
Like it's like you feel lethargic and weak.
Yeah, dude. I reckon it's because you sit in front of a screen all day, right? So I mean,
Yeah.
and you work with like you have to like not solve, but it's like almost brain numbing the kind of work,
Yeah, bro. It's
Yeah,
like
so it's
that kind of
like
tired.
your
Like
body's not tired, but your mind's just not having it.
exactly. I could do like 50 push-ups now, but I can't add 1 + 1 in my head. So it's kind
All right,
of.
so you'll just be watching. Um, dude, you saw the Instagram, the new setup?
Insta. Let me check. I've been on Insta lately as well. I've been off my socials to be honest. Let me see. Just want to go.
I
Oh,
got this little.
the thing came.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you actually sound different.
But the issue is this.
What is it?
That's the keyboard. It's quite loud, isn't it?
Wait, type again. Um, wait, let me see. I mean, you could get like a mechanical keyboard. Maybe that will make it a bit like quieter.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think this thing might have some noise cancellation. So I need to figure that out.
Oh, that's good though. I mean, you do sound clearer.
Yeah. And I forgot, like, I have to use like the headset with wires because I forgot that the desktop doesn't have man's got no Bluetooth on desktop.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought Bluetooth has. I thought your desktop would have Bluetooth.
No, usually you have like you either have to get like a Bluetooth drive, like or like a Bluetooth dongle that you plug in. But I'll probably just get a dongle. I think they're like $10 or something. Um, yeah. But everything's looking pretty clean, man. Looks like we might get some good trading today.
Yeah, it does look a bit nice. You didn't trade the UK today, did you?
No, I don't know. I was at training last night.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so I'll do UK for me, which will be well. So I'll do UK. Yeah, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Because
How come
Monday,
such
Wednesday.
specific days?
Because Monday, Wednesday, I've got training.
Ah, yes, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
So these builders who are working on these apartments, they've locked out because there are balconies right next to the apartments that they're working on, right? And they're using like
Yeah.
this crane to lift shit, and they've already broken 2 balcony glass pieces of like people who live there, right? So they just break, they just break balconies.
Broke some cheap Chinese. Wait, are we on YouTube?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Okay, sick. Just double checking. I need to censor myself.
Oh, dude. No, but they're not actually. It's I don't even know who it's from. Watson Hughes and Hughes Project Limited.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a New Zealand company. Watson Hughes Group. Co. well, I don't know who the architect is, but he needs to be fired.
So what are you looking at today?
I'm looking at 80 USD. Look for a sell if this can retest and close below. And then like target 1 or target 2. And then I'm looking for, I believe I was looking at CAD. No, it wasn't CAD, but JPY. It was USD JPY, I think. Yeah. USD JPY, break above, potential buy. But there's something else I was looking at. Maybe GJ? GJ, GB CAD, no, what, BJ? No, BJ looks nice. I think CAD as well. CAD JPY always looks interesting. I want to close above. That could be quite good too. But mainly USD, AUD USD, and USD JPY. So
That looks good.
yeah, it looks pretty
like
good.
This one here.
Because I think it looks like a yen was weakened.
Oh, was there news or anything? Or
What's that?
was there any news on it? Or
No, I mean just everything else points for the yen to go down. So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I've got no idea about news. So. But I think it's going to be a pretty steady week. So yeah, nothing. JPY average cash earnings. So heaps of Japanese news. Oh, but they're like super low impact. So I mean, I don't think they'll do anything. RBA tomorrow. Ooh, and then USD, US news. So it's pretty steady. It's nothing major.
I see.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, now everything's here. Like it's just that waiting game now. Just been here sitting talking to myself.
I mean, that's like literally what 90% of trading is, just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's boring, at least you know you're doing something right. So.
It's just it's horrible. I was talking to my dad yesterday as well, and how like I just like we were talking about how boring trading is if you do it right.
Oh yeah,
like I mean,
he trades as well, doesn't he?
Futures, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's just really boring. Man. Like I mean, you can make it exciting, but you're gonna lose a hell of a lot of money. I mean, like
Oh
you
yeah.
can make a casino exciting too. But man, when you just have to sit and wait, man, it's really boring. That's what I don't know why no one else from the Discord joins, man.
I have no idea.
I know Asian's pretty early for everyone. But I mean, like I can see the brothers are like on the Academy of Wealth Mastery. I can see there are like heaps of people online. I was like, man, they already paid for this random course, and I was like, man, I was like, okay, well, surely they want to learn, right?
Yeah, of course.
And now I can see like they're all online. Heaps, you can see them as well, like heaps of people online.
Let me check. Yeah, I do see what you're saying.
I post a link there every day.
Oh yeah, you posted it today as well.
No, not today. I'll post it again today.
I mean, I don't know, man. Don't know. I mean,
It is what it is, man.
I have this little theory where it's like when you're learning the trade, right? It sounds weird, but like I feel like a lot of people they fall into this cycle of just consuming courses.
Yeah, that's true.
So
like
it's
you just keep learning and learning and learning, but don't get to use it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't like at least like test out their own shit.
Yeah.
And like, if you think about it, like, not all of them are probably serious about it, and they just bought the course just because.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be it. But damn, I just look at this 266 odd people. This guy made a kid.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, 266 people, and nobody even. And okay, and this okay. So pretty much for everyone who's watching, well, my one follower, and anyone who will be watching this video in the future. So there's this course we joined, like, what was it, 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, it
3
was
years ago?
about 2 years ago, 2, 3.
And the brother just left. So the guy who taught us just left. And there are like 266 people in this chat group. And then I, like, and they all paid for something. So, I thought, why not do it, like, help them out more. But now no one's interested. I mean, it's literally just my brother here, MG, who joined. And that's it. I mean, even the people who I invited to our own group, I was like, guys, come join us. Like, I mean, we got heaps of people on here. Like, how many we've got? Okay, we've got 12 people, excluding you and me, on this chat group. That was for free, and they're like, no one joins. Like, they all just disappeared. But hey, it's free information.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, not like, this goes with a lot of things. So there'll be like information out there, but it could be any type of information, but not a lot of people will see the value in it like someone else will.
That's true.
So, like, someone like person B, which person A could see your lives as extremely valuable, and then person B could see it as complete bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I think it kind of also comes down to actually, like, paying, because everyone's got it for free, and you tend to take free things for for granted.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, because that's why everyone's, if you the more free, well, obviously free things, it's like getting a car given to you, right? You're not really gonna be like, that's my baby, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's probably it. You just take free things for granted.
No, this is true. Like all the other like forex streams, like Rajo stream. I mean, you'd think there'd be more people watching them, but no, there's only like
Yeah.
a
But I
few
mean, the thing is, like,
people
still there are heaps of people watching it. But when you look at the quality of people watching it, it's like, dude.
Yeah, they're donuts, bro.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there are some people in there who do. I'm not gonna, like, I can't just hate on people who watch, because I mean, I need viewers as well. But
Yeah.
let's let's just get some funny people.
I mean, not hating on people, but you get like the like accounts that just sound like complete bots, and they like
Oh
ask
yeah.
weird questions, and it's always some guy in India saying like, "Can I trade with like 100 rupees in my account and be a millionaire?"
Well,
Some stupid shit like
yes, you can, but you ain't gonna make no money though.
I mean, yes, you can, but the probability is like stacked against you.
That's it. It is. Yeah, but oh well, what can you do, man? Can't.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Man, I see them come online, they yeet off again. Look at these turds. Well, this didn't turn out very nice. This ADUSD ended up being yuck.
Don't really
That's
like
good.
that one. Shit.
KJPY looking good though. So spreads are just still humongous. That's it. An hour into the open and we ain't got nothing yet. And the worst part is, this is usually when things change. You need to call the central banks and tell them to have rollover earlier. Do you trade anything this week? Or?
No, I mean, I added some money into like a crypto portfolio I have, which is kind of cool.
Oh, cool. Is that with like what's it called? It's not blockchain. There's another one called Binance.
No, it's just this crypto. wallet thingy. So I mean, I was just adding
Okay.
to it like every week. I add a little bit to it, just bro, honestly, just for fun, because it's just there.
No, dude, but it's like it's investing, you know. You just a little bit every week is good, man. It's just money you put away that's
Yeah,
got more potential than it has in the bank, you know.
exactly. So I was just adding to it because there's this one currency, and then it was like last week, man. This thing shoots up like 50%, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" I'm like, dude, what?
Oh, dude. I spoke to a guy at training on Sunday, and he was like, he put money into this Doge or Doggo coin,
Oh,
whatever you want to
Dogecoin.
Dogecoin. Yeah. He bought it at like 0.05, like half a cent, and then it shot up to
Yeah.
like 0.8 cents, and he took out his money. He took it
Oh,
out at
it's worth
0.8
way
cents.
much.
No, and
Worth a
then
lot
now it's
more
like,
now, right?
yeah, now it's, and then he like later, and it just shot up to like to 5 cents now. So I mean, the brother would have made like, you know, what would I
Damn,
say?
I would have kept it, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. Like because if man, that would suck so much. I'd actually be so upset.
It's like this time last year, Bitcoin was worth like 5k, like pounds, or like 7k dollars, and now it's like worth like 40 or
Yeah.
35.
Hmm.
You know, it's like I regret not buying it at the time. I was like, oh man, I'm a dumb donut.
Yeah, but dude, like if you and then like I saw this thing where like it's roughly about a month ago, this time 2000 and I think it was 2014, Bitcoin hit. I think it said it hit $100 for the first time. So
$100. Damn.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
pull
think
the shot.
I don't know the futures was BTC USD. It's futures that one away. So Bitcoin. It's got it's got monthly time frame. Dude, look at that money. Yeah. So 2014. I know it's way back. 2000. Yeah, 2000 and like yeah, 2012. Bitcoin at $100 for the first time. So
Damn.
that's when I was that's when I that was my last year on school. Then this brother was like, you know, oh, shit, that shot up so quick. Man, there's some serious money out there. What's this other one? What's Dogecoin? Dogecoin. Yeah,
Do you
Doge.
think? Do you think Trading View will have that shot?
That's
Oh,
right.
they do.
Oh, they don't have a lot of data on it. Oh no, wait, no, it should be there. Let's go weekly.
I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think they do because it's.
That's right.
Yeah,
So because
it's like
it's quite new.
it's very recent. Yeah.
Maybe an hour would look better. Maybe, yes. Dude, like I mean,
Right.
oh shit. Yeah, it's 50 cents now. 5 cents, 6 cents.
6 cents.
Yeah, like one of the guys, he mined it back here, like when it was like 0.8 cents.
Damn.
He mined some, so he mined it like back here somewhere. Yeah. So if it goes for a dollar, man,
You're basically a millionaire.
that's it.
I don't know about that though. I doubt it will happen.
Dude, I look okay, look at this, right? And then
Yeah.
compare it to Bitcoin, right? Super similar,
It looks
right?
kind of the same, right?
So I mean, if y'all are thinking about it, could be a good idea.
I
I
should
mean,
just
it's
buy
just
some Dogecoin.
yeah, dude, just put $1,000 in it, right? You know, I mean, no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, people think it's a lot of money, but then they go off and buy shoes for $200, and they go buy a jacket for $100, and then you know at the end of a month, you know, they look at their statement and they already spent $1,000 on junk food or like you know snacks and stuff or cafe or whatever, you know. Like, well, you could have not done that and just put money away in a savings or like you know, an account or like this or something, you know. It's not a lot, you know.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. In the grand scheme of things, 1,000 is
Mhm.
not really that much, but
It's like so if you can like $1,000 is about just like roughly about 200 a week that you put away. I mean that's a lot. So I mean you can maybe do that over the course of like 3 months. You know,
yeah,
just put
yeah, you can
put
split that.
$50 away every week. People need to think about that, man. They don't. People don't think about it. Like this, if you tell most people, right? If you tell a person and say, hey, if you were got given $10 million today, what will you do? I guarantee the first thing like I'll buy a car, I'll buy a boat, I'll buy a plane or whatever. You know, I'll go on holidays. Like the first thing they think about is just spending the money. They don't think about like obviously buying it. A lot of people say buying a house, which I think is the perfect thing to do. You know, buy a house, but don't buy a $5 million house. Just buy a
Oh
house.
yeah, of course.
Like everyone thinks, oh, I'll buy this. I'll buy my dream home. It's like, man, all right, spend the whole paycheck.
You can't just go live below your means.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's the thing. Like people have got the mentality of spending, right? So until they get rid of that, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you'll never have enough.
Yeah, that is that's true. That's why like most athletes go broke when they get their
Oh
money.
yeah, because I mean they're young. You're like these, especially these football players, man. They're like 19. They get signed with like $23 million, or $19 million or whatever.
This is true.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's like, man, it's just literally that people just dump money on them, and then they go either end up doing drugs or buying stupid crap.
Yeah. I mean everything in moderation, even the drugs, but damn.
Sniff a coke a week.
You gotta like crush it up with the your credit card and all that. Yeah. All in moderation though.
That's it, man. You can't just go.
And then sniff it out if I can hook his arsehole, but everything in moderation.
Yeah, I guess so. Everything in moderation. He says that on live on YouTube.
Everything in moderation.
Um, yeah, dude, people gotta have the saving mentality, man. You can't just keep spending.
Oh yeah. This is true. But I don't know, it's just I feel like they don't teach you this stuff because
No,
they don't
no
want
one
you to
teaches
learn
this
it.
stuff. No, no, no.
Yeah. It's kind of stuff you gotta learn yourself.
Or on the live streams. Come here, we talk about everything else but trading. No, but honestly, I think the live streams are just my backboard, so I can keep myself accountable. And so it's not too boring, but it's pretty boring when nobody else joins.
Oh
Damn
yeah, I hear
bastards.
you.
I love the family in the background.
Huh?
See, you're hearing the family in the background.
You hear that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh
Sounds
damn.
like maybe do you have a little sister or something?
That was my mom.
Oh, damn, she
Damn.
sounds young.
Yeah, she looks like she's in her 20s.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds. I always thought you had like a younger sister. Because it always sounds like you got something that always like come to your room and start talking to you. I don't
Oh
have a
no,
younger
no.
sister.
I don't have a sister. Come to think of it, I'm glad I don't have a sister. I mean, I'd rather have a brother, which I do have.
Yeah, I think it'd be difficult having a sister, right? Because you
Sounds
can't
like
like
stress.
Yeah, besides that, but it's like with a brother you can like it's almost like you learn life lessons with your brother, you always like fighting and
Yeah,
wrestling and becoming like a sister's different, man. I think you just become a straight up dick if you had a sister.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
You end
I
up
don't know
like
what I'd do with this.
what's that guy from Wolf of Wall Street who married his cousin?
Oh wait, what? Oh, was it the Chinese guy or something?
No, that guy with the phosphorus yellow white teeth. Well, it was the second
Oh
main guy.
yeah,
He was
Rugrat.
with
Is that his name?
no, I don't know what his name was, but what's the guy? Jonah Hill. Yeah,
Oh right. Oh no, not Rugrat. Jonah Hill. Yeah,
yeah.
the tree he
Playing the
married his
guy who married
cousin.
his cousin. She's so
Like he
hot.
explains it.
Yeah.
It's actually his cousin. A man's
No,
making it
she's not
sound
like
like a
my.
second cousin or something.
Yeah, she's not like my cousin. She's my mother's sister's daughter.
Dude, your cousin. My mother's sister's daughter. What? That's a bit risky though, marrying your cousin. Like, well, your kids like have a
Yeah,
high
but
chance of
remember they spoke
retarded.
about that when they were like, but aren't you scared about like, the risk of like retards? And it's like, yeah, well, if you want, I'll just, take it on a drive and then open the door and be like, you're free now.
Yeah,
Be
you're
free.
free now.
Oh man, honestly, that's probably one of the most classic. It's so funny.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's pretty funny. You're free now. Go, you're free. You're free now.
Come on now, what's this marketing? What's Aussie? Is it doing something nice? No, it's gross. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, well, hopefully we can push up. Let's be clean if we do.
That thing moving. Oh, I'm gonna have to head off in 5 though.
That's a good dude. Yeah, I know you got work to do.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
dude, quickly, how do you spell consciously? I'm not. I'm pretty illiterate.
What do you say?
How do you spell conscious?
Conscious. No, I'll be real. I'm really bad at spelling, but I believe it's Concious. Is it?
C oh yes, good man. Conscious.
CON
Yeah,
CONSCIOUS. Yeah,
there we go.
conscious. Yeah, that's it. It's kind of a tricky one though. Can't lie.
English is a stupid language.
It's weird.
People just need to accept that English is retarded.
Apparently, like learning Mandarin is really hard.
I can think so. Yeah, because I mean, it's all sounds, and like each sound has got like a complete meaning.
Yeah,
Where
that's what I'm saying.
with like any Germanic languages, right? Like every Germanic or Latinic languages, it's all like the word. It's not a meaning. The word is like an object or describes the object. But like
Yeah,
with like any like Mandarin or Chinese, like the word is like it's the whole thing's got a meaning. The whole one sound has got a meaning. But with our one sound is either an object or describes the object or um, it's not like an entire meaning of something.
yeah. No, that makes sense. There's some pretty weird ones out there.
No, dude, I think it'd be so hard to know.
No, an easy one is like Spanish though.
I like the thing about Spanish is like once you get the hang of it, it's like because they're very definitive for what things
Yeah.
are. It's just the like the what do they call them, the like male and female.
Oh, the yeah. What do they call them? It's like the Damn, I was learning this and I completely
Well, I
forgot
mean,
now.
if you want to be a little worse, you could call it. It's the pronoun.
Yeah. That's it. The pro. If you want to be a wuss. Yeah, the pronouns. Got the male and female ones.
That's it.
But if I
No,
wanted to add my own pronoun, wouldn't that complicate the whole language and how you speak it?
I reckon you can add your own pronoun. You can be like Z, you know,
I'm a they them actually.
or they.
So
I
yeah.
think Z would be a better fit, man. Z bitch.
Oh my god. I
No, that's
identify as a they.
that's a they. You're a multiple. Oh, dude, this new Instagram of mine is just getting bombarded with, these group chats. So it's like these scamming accounts that like said like, "Hey, babe," kind of messages,
Oh
kind of.
god.
Oh, it's such shit.
I get them. I used to get them. I follow one new account, right, and I'll get DM'd from some random guy talking about how he'll flip money. It's so annoying.
I no, honestly, those ones I love. I love people like, man, I'll teach you how to make 1,000. Man, I just got in it. Like, I just act like I'm the dumbest person on this planet. Be like, yo, yeah, all right, man. I've got, my uncle just died. I got the 150 grand I want to invest. I don't know what to do with it. I know banks
Yeah,
don't make money. You just say, hey, look, can you teach me? I've got 150 grand. I'll give to you if you can just teach me how to make more money.
get
I
them
know,
get
and
excited.
exactly get them hooked. And be like, you know, I know I can be the next millionaire. I know this.
I believe it.
Yeah, with the right guidance, like such as yourself, I can be a millionaire. I reckon. And they say, I just need you to teach me. And I'll do whatever it takes. And then you get them hooked. You just sell them.
Yeah.
Work your sales pitch for them.
What's like a
Sell
Uno reverse
yourself.
card in?
Yeah.
And when
And
they
then
clock on, you just send them the Uno reverse card picture.
yeah, but then you can pull up the Nigerian prince as well if you want.
Oh
If you're
no.
like, no, because then what you do is like you pull that text. Say, okay, well, yeah, I'll send you the money. I just need that you just send me some funds so I can have it to make sure that's the right bank account. Yeah, just send me that.
Oh, I love those ones, man.
Play that pick up four card.
Oh, it's like I got 20 million, but the transfer fee is like $5.
Oh,
Damn, you got me there.
now you gotta make it a bit higher than that, man. Oh, nothing. Ah, there we go. 14 minutes. All right, bro. What's your game plan?
I shall be bouncing soon. I need to do some work and then I'm gonna head off to bed.
Work still. You still have to do some work.
Studies.
Oh,
And then
it'll pay off one day, man.
I hope so. Yeah, for sure. But I will catch you. I'll let you know tomorrow if I'll jump on though.
Yeah, dude. Definitely.
Bro, take care.
Take it easy, man. Have a good one. Yeah.
Alright.
Later. Cool. So yeah, we've been speaking about this one now, and hopefully we can get this push up and then close above there. Ideally, we want to close above there. You could have potentially looked to take a straight inside here, but it was just a bit iffy. Cycle consolidation is not really like a great place to be in. It looks pretty good. Like even on the hourly time frame, this looks really good. So you can see that we had like this pullback. Even if you want to be like more technical on this, we had sort of like a flag. I'm not sure what type of flag you call it, bullish flag, red flag. So we had this sort of push, or actually more of a wedge really. So push the downside now, nice break. Now if we get it close above this, would be really ideal. So hopefully we can get this move to close above in the next 10 minutes. If we do, we'll look for a retest and then hopefully a trade to the downside. Now I want this candle to close above this high now. Before I look to take a trade, so it has to close above there. Otherwise, if it doesn't, you can just expect it to consolidate inside, or we don't really know what's going to happen next. So I'd rather close above there, be certain, and then hopefully we get a slight little retest into the support that we have set up here. Saw some wicks, we saw a bit of resistance, support resistance, a bit more resistance here. So we could get the next candle's wick to push in. So depending on where this one closes, so I'll show you guys. So we could, if this one closes up here, this is what we want. We want this close, and then we can get something that looks a bit like this. Retest on that inside of that resistance. It's a resistance dash support, and then hopefully we can push further higher. So hopefully we can get something. This is sort of the structure I want to look for. These last candles are just my imagination going wild. But yeah, these first two. Let's have a look. So this one over here is what I want to look for. This candle right over there. But obviously, we need a wick at the top as well for it to, for us to make sure that it's going to continue up. So we want a wick at the top. So this is our ideal structure. We want to see the next 8 minutes. I want to see a push up here. Now, let's start looking at placing this order. Obviously, so not a sell. That'd be devastating. Let's take a long position. I'm not going to take it yet. So this is just for me, just so I can have an idea of where we're at. Obviously, stop loss will be, I would put it roughly below, like halfway below this candle. So we've got a fairly big stop loss. So we need to have a look on it, to see if we can see any support / resistance potential target areas. Now, I don't see anything for a while, even if we let's have a look at the daily time frame, maybe there's something there. So, there we go. So, we're sitting like daily time frame, which was back in 2019. So, a whole year, almost 2 years ago now. So, there's nothing really we have to worry about. So I think what we'll look for is these round numbers to start to play into effect. So if we have a look and see, currently sitting at, so we need to keep this in mind now that we don't have anything coming up, we need to keep in mind, this 68,200. We also need to keep in mind, so that could be an area of conflict, 68, obviously 68,300 again. So these are kind of the things I'll be looking for now. These high numbers, and hopefully if we can push to like 68,300 or 68,400. That'll be really ideal if we can. So these are the, I want to see us push to these areas. So this is where I want to see it push to, if we can. So obviously we've got targets. We've got target one. Technically, area of conflict one. Then we got target one, and then target two. So hopefully we can get an overall target up here, which would be ideal because we get like a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, depending on where we enter. will also depend on where we place our stop. So for stop ideas, we've got this section up over here, which played a big part. So ideally, we want our stop just be just below that, because it's an internal support as resistance. We saw it act as resistance, saw it act as support and resistance again here. So this could be a pretty ideal trade if we do end up taking this one. So we'll wait and see how this. So this will be the trade. I think this will be the trade for the day. Just before, okay, we've got about 6 minutes, so let's quickly flip through the other pairs. I'll flip through. I didn't actually look at US30 today. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing, doesn't look too great for me. AD JPY stuck in consolidation. AD USD, we were looking for a move to the downside, but flicked back into this resistance. So nothing there. Obviously, CAD JPY is what we're looking at. Euro JPY in consolidation, we're sitting at a strong resistance, so we could potentially look either to push down or push up. I don't really see any structure here yet. So there's the resistance we're looking for, and if we can push further higher, we've got a nice target coming too. So upside looks pretty clean. Just don't have any entries, and then obviously the downside, we're kind of stuck. There's this bit of a consolidation zone. I would not want to trade it. Obviously below that we can look for moves, but ideally we want to see that push a little bit further higher. Not going to look at. I was looking at anything related to the currents market. So I'll be looking at Aussie pairs and Japanese pairs, the main ones. So GBP/JPY, nothing really. I mean, we're sitting in a consolidation zone. We want to see a break above, and then we want to see some candle formations before we look for a trade. I remember I will look at CAD/JPY because actually pretty good last time I spoke. One of the viewers spoke about this, but yeah, it looks pretty messy today, so I'm not going to touch it. USD/JPY, we've got a break above that zone actually. So I mean, the thing is, I want to take this trade now because I mean we've got 4 minutes left for this half-an-hour candle to close, and it hasn't done much. So we need to be very careful of what this candles can do now. I'm sure if we look on the lower term time frame, we could probably see something, a bit more information. Looks pretty good actually. 4 minute close, but it's closing like flat. So I'm not really too keen on this trade. Hourly, so look at hourly. Hourly looks very good. But the issue is, the hourly is like more than almost halfway through now, and we haven't really seen a big push. So I'm expecting, either to quickly push now or close and then look to do a retest and come back into the zone. So USD/JPY actually looks pretty good. So USD/JPY looks pretty good for a buy position. You can put your stop loss below this zone over here if you're looking to enter. I'm not going to trade this right now because I just don't like the area. But if you're looking to take a position, you could look at something like this. And even depending on where this candle's if this candle closes here, you can even look at putting your stop loss just below that candle. I'm not sure where you're going to put your take profit. Obviously, you want to look for these round numbers. So maybe, obviously we keep in mind of, 109, 109, 60, 109, 50, all those round numbers. So if you can get 109, 100, this would be a really cool trade to take. So I mean, there's a nice setup if you guys do want to take that one. I'm not going to take this. I just don't like how slow this candle is moving. So my trade I'm looking for is CAD/JPY. I'm looking for this CAD/JPY trade. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we got about 2 minutes for the 30-minute candle to close. Just under 2 minutes. So it could be a pretty, it's still kind of stuck in this. I really hope it breaks above that zone. The hourly candle actually looks pretty good. But if we're gonna trade based on the hourly candle, we're gonna have to wait for an hourly close. So ideally we want to look for a 30-minute close on here, but we have to see it above that zone. Well, if I'll flick between USD JPY and KJPY because for those who are interested in this one, hopefully you can see it push up. Oh, okay. So we got to close inside the zone. It's not really that great. I really want to see it close above. We're still sitting sort of above this little support. If we look at the hourly candle, it's just, it can still come below and close. We've got a whole half an hour, and I doubt we'll see a push further higher. Yeah, I'm not. This is a bit of a difficult one now because it didn't really play out to anything. So obviously the most likely option we're going to look for is to not take a trade because we don't know if it's going to continue in this consolidation or if it's going to move to the upside. So we'll have to wait and see. Looking at the 15-minute as well, this wick is rejecting. It could, I think, in my opinion, I think it could still push up. Yes, it's a bit of a tricky one to play, to be honest. Let's have a look at this USD JPY. This is quite nice. So USD JPY is closed above. Hourly candle look really good as well. Still, we're still above that support, resistance. So I do think this will probably continue upwards, which is it's a good sign for this for the KJPY. See if I can move this chart. Yes, I see we stayed above that support. So hopefully we can, but the thing is, we can still see where this hourly candle can dip into this area and then push up. So the thing is, the market has given us a good direction that we might want to go into, but it's not really given us like the proper signal to enter yet, in my opinion. So I mean, a lot of people, if you wanted, you could have entered based on this, but it's a bit tricky because we are sort of stuck in that consolidation zone. Yes, so the market's really stuck here. I mean, out of curiosity, I kind of want to see what it looks like on a 5 minute. See it 5 minutes consolidating. So I mean, we're really just stuck in this zone. We want to see a breakout. That's why it's so important to have a candle close above that zone to try and avoid these sort of movements. Even the 1 minute's consolidating, so everything's just really moving sideways. So this looks just does not look nice, because look, if we look at this, so we can have a nice push to the upside, but we can have a push back down. So I think it's sort of what's going to happen here as well. We'll probably come back into this consolidation zone now, which is bad news, obviously, for the USD JPY. Yeah, it's really not moving at all. It's been 10 minutes of absolute stillness. which is interesting because usually when that happens, we can expect just a absolute blast. So it can either blast to the upside or blast to the downside, which could be quite beneficial. I'm contemplating this now because it actually looks quite good. It's starting to look really good now. This candle, had a retest of that zone we talked about, and starting to push up. I might, yeah, I'll look at taking a small. I'll enter here on a small little trade. I'll put my stop loss just below that zone that we mentioned. So right here on here, and I will put my take profit at that. Take profit for me will be this that next zone. So I'll put it at 86,300. So that'll be my overall take profit target. But if I see it start to slow down at this 86,200, I'll close the trade. Just because it's a bit of a higher risk trade, but this is sort of what we're looking for. So nice 221. Cool. So let's see if we can get anything. So small little trade, KJPY. Let's see. It is a pretty risky trade, so I went in, pretty low volume. So we'll see if we can get anything out of it. Yes, I see. There we go. That's that rejection. Come back to this area. So I think, like I said, we'll probably push down. But if we stay above the zone, it could still play out well. We were, it was a bit of an impatient trade, but still above that support on the hourly time frame. We got 40 minutes left, so I'm still a little bit iffy on this. If it do close in the next 14 minutes above this area, I'll be good with the trade. But if we close on the same level or below that, I'll close the trade. So I want us to stay above that zone, the hourly zone. I want us to stay above there. If not, if we don't stay above there on the close, then I'll close the trade. But if we close above, I'll be happy for a retest to come into here. Let's get rid of this. So I'll be happy for a retest to come down to here, and then look to push further higher. So these are sort of those two zones are the ones I want to stay above, right? On the close, I want to stay above the top one. On the retest, I want to stay, in or above this current one, the next coming one to the downside. Yes, see, so here's a bit of a strong drop, which is a little bit concerning. Let's have a look. Yes, and all we can do now is just wait and see, if it reaches our zones, if it closes above our zones. If not, like I said, if it doesn't close above that zone, this hourly candle, I will exit this trade, and then potentially wait for a new one. But we've been almost 2 hours into the session now. So we'll see how this goes. We've still got about an hour left, in my opinion, of the session. So if we do get a close well, then we could get a good movement. If not, I'll close the trade and then just wait for another re-entry. So nothing much. We're still kind of sitting here. So look. So we got about 6 minutes for this hourly candle to close, and like I said, it still looks like it wants to close above the zone. So I'm happy with that if it closes up here. Ideally I wanted to close a little bit higher. If not, if it does close here, that's fine. But anything below the zone, we will definitely need to look at closing the trade because chance I'll just continue to consolidate. We had a fair bit of movement yesterday in the market. It wasn't the best movement, but we did have we'd have a big move. So we can kind of look for today to be a bit more quiet. So let's see how this one closes. It's starting to look good. So hopefully we can get a push further higher. Also, if we happen to close here, that means a 30-minute, that's a new 30-minute close. So what I'll do then is I'll move my stop loss below this 30-minute candle over here. Right, so they'll tighten our stop loss even more, make a loss, a chance for a loss even less. So we'll see if we can get that nice close. We get a nice tighter stop loss and a lower risk trade. Okay, so we're making a strong push down, 20 seconds, 24 seconds into this before this close, and we are actually going below this area, so not favorable at all. We'll see where this closes. We've got 13 seconds, so I'm assuming it's going to close below here. If it does shoot up and close above, that's great. I think that's actually what it's doing right now. So we'll have a look and see what happens. Like I said, there we go. See, so it closed in below here. Let's have a look at our 30-minute candle. This is, see, it's always annoying when it closes on these zones. Yeah, it's gonna, I think, if it takes out that low, I'll be out of this trade. So I'll move my stop loss in to that low of that candle, because if it goes below that, I don't want to be in this trade. So that's where I put my stop loss now. Whatever happens now happens. No, like I said, I don't want to be in that trade if it takes it out. Cool. So let's see how what this trade does. If it's nice to us, I won't take out that low, and we can get like a like a push above, close above, and continuation. But chances are I'll probably take out that low, looking at the structure, looking where it closed below resistance. There it goes. Keep pushing. It's pretty close actually. Let's see what it does. There you go. So it's taken us out of this trade now. So that was a loss, which is okay. It was a bit of a risky trade. So what we'll do is we'll wait and see. We've got about another, I'll wait here for another hour and see if the market does anything. It's actually been a pretty horrendous, trading. It's been really quiet. So even this USD JPY that closed above that zone did come back in again. That we looked at. So everything is actually very quiet. So it's not really a great day to trade, which is a bit unfortunate. Really, we were really hoping this week would have been better compared to last week, but it looks like it might be a bit of a frustrating one. So let's see where this one goes. If it gives us another opportunity, that's great. But unless we get a clear sign this market's going to break above or break below, there won't be anything. So we'll give it another hour or so to see what it does. If it doesn't do anything, then obviously we know what to do. So all we can do now is wait. So I can see we've got one extra viewer. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them over. I'll be happy to answer them. Now that we just have to wait for this market to close. Okay, so this is ending up to be quite nicely now. What we're starting to see, this is the hourly time frame. So what we're starting to see now is we saw a rejection of the zone. So this is what we were looking for before. And hopefully if we do get a close, now obviously we always want to get that close above the zone because we saw what happened. We took a trade early and we closed below this area. Didn't go so well. Right, so what we're looking for is we want to trade above the zone. A close above the zone and then a look to go further high. Now, if we look at the 30-minute time from that zone, actually gets a bit more, goes a bit higher, right? So ideally, if we have a look, we can actually broaden this one up to just roughly about here. So that's sort of the area you want to get out of, right? Now looking back at the hourly time frame, we can see we actually have quite a big zone we need to get out of. So we do want to close above this area just to be 100% safe. So 30-minute actually starts to look good. So if we can get a close above here on 30-minute, that'd be really cool, really good setup because we came down to retest this area. So let me just quickly, I'll annotate for you guys. We had this sort of resistance back over here and also here, bit of support here. And if we look for this wick so I'll start on the wick and we look to the left, you can see it actually hits into the support / resistance zone, which is really great, which means we came back to test some of that, grabbed a bit of liquidity. Now, if we can get a close above here, we can look to continue for the high. So what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for this candle to close above this zone, and then we can look for perhaps another retest into the support area over here, and look to start to push for the high. So this is sort of the structure we'd ideally want to see, right? And then we can start looking for for moves further higher, to look to trade to the upside. So we've got about 60 minutes left. I'm just curious to see what the 15-minute candle looks like. So yeah, everything looks the same. We can't base off our 15-minute candle close. Obviously, 30-minute candle close, I'll be a little bit skeptical unless it closes all the way above here. And hourly candle, obviously same story, close above. So that's really what we want. I would possibly take a trade on a 30-minute time frame if it closes up, but if it closes below here, I wouldn't take it. If it closes up above here on a 30-minute time frame, I'll be happy to take the trade. Because that means we've still got another 30 minutes for the hourly candle to push further higher. Ooh, that was. Okay, looks like we're starting to see some good movement now. Got 9 minutes for 30 minutes to close. So obviously, like we see, we want it above the area. So let's have a look. Let's see. Hopefully, we can get a close above. That'd be really good. Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes left for this 30-minute close, and it hasn't really done much, anything interesting. We're looking at the hourly time frame. The hourly time frame looks a lot better, but I still want that hourly candle to close above like where it is now. So obviously, if the 30-minute candle doesn't close where we want it to close, we would have to wait for the hourly candle. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the only thing. It's already the market really hasn't moved nicely, so I don't expect anything major. So if we don't get a good move, that's fine. If we don't get a good move, if we don't get a close where we want in the next half an hour, that'll probably be the end of the session. And we'll call it. We'll just end it there. But hopefully we can get a good move. Hopefully we can get a close. So that's really what we're looking for. I'm just focusing on this CAD JPY because everything else is just in bad consolidation. If we look at US30, nothing there. AUD JPY, nothing. AUD USD again. If we can get a break below, we're pretty far away. So we'll see, but it's doubtful. Euro JPY, we had a close above. We just need this. We need this candle to close. We're sort of looking at this before we retest and close above. Which is in about a minute. So this candle closes in a minute. But if we look at the hourly candle, that was, it's pretty much all the way there. So we got 30 minutes. So this candle could actually push up. So Euro JPY could be a potential good move, which does bring me back to CAD JPY, which could, kind of put us in the direction that this candle could, the market could move further higher. So let's see what we can do this next 30 seconds. If this candle closes above, if it closes above, we're good to go, in my opinion, for a trade. So let's see what it does. We've got 20 seconds. Hopefully we get a good move. There we go. All right, let's hope it doesn't run away. So let's see what we can get. Okay, candle close. Great, exactly what we wanted to do. Let's wait for a small retest, and then we'll see if we can get anything. I think that'll be our entry right there. So look. Okay, so we just took the trade. Entry. It's about here. Stop loss I placed just under the zone, and obviously target up here by our 306, 86.3. So let's see how we go. This one that gives us a nice little move. There you go. So what we need to do now is we need to keep an eye out on this hourly close and also this 4-hourly close. Well, so quickly go 4-hourly close before we move on. So 4-hourly close, okay, we've got an hour and a half for 4-hourly close. So we don't need to worry too much about that. So we need to keep an eye out on this, right? Because we've got half an hour for this hourly to close. So if this hourly candle goes up past here, then I'll be happy to look to hold the trade. But as soon as if it closes just below here, or wicks into then closes below, it could be a bit of a troubling trade because it's closing. We're bound for a retest once the hourly candle closes. So what that means is we could look for a retest that comes all the way back into here and could potentially stop us out. So we need to see how this candle moves in the next half an hour. So ideally, we want to reach above this first sort of zone before this close and stay above there and close above it, or even better if we hit our target. So we just need to keep that in mind. It's always the issue about trading so deep into an hourly candle. Cinema candle, it's taking quite slow to move. So hopefully we can get a good push as soon as later on in the candle session. But yeah, that's the one thing we really need to keep in mind. See, so it's really struggling. This is always a bit of a nuisance when it does that. I mean, the biggest thing to do now is focusing on leaving your stop loss and your take profit. You've got your set targets. If you change anything now, you're messing with your risk management, and you throw your just throw your risk management out the window. So we need to stick to our set targets, and then just let the market do its thing. Whether it stops us out, or if it takes our profit, it takes our profit. So let's see what happens now. Okay, so I mean, bit of an update. Nothing really happened much. So I'm assuming this trade has just pretty much turned to a dud. So we'll see. I mean, we've got 12 minutes left to see where this trade goes. But I doubt it's going to do anything further. Looking at hourly time frame, the wicks just look terrible. 30-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame looks okay. If this turns into a doji, we should still be okay to go. I'll just move the stop loss in a bit tighter. And then let's see, like only maybe a slightly bit tighter. If they're looking at where it is now, probably won't have to do much to it. But I think if this drops like all the way down and closes below here, I'll be out of the trade because there's nothing else here for me to look at. And then we'll probably cut it there. But if this closes at doji, hopefully, we can see some continuation. Like I said, we've got 11 minutes for the market to prove itself to us now. If it doesn't, then we know what to do. We just need to close the trade and live to fight another day. Okay, so it looks like this is going to close as a doji, which kind of eliminates this candle. But we do need to consider of that low of the wick. Okay, so 3 minutes left. So let's have a look here. Also on the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame still closed pretty nice. So out of curiosity, I'm going to look here on the 30-minute time frame and see where that wick was. Because depending on where that wick was, that's really where we can potentially look to put our new stop loss. Now you see it's pushing to it quite quickly. So let's see what we can have a look. So that's kind of just into that retest zone. Ideally, I don't want this candle coming too low down, but I do still now looking at this close, the hourly close, and this 15-minute close. We will probably continue to, sorry, the 30-minute close will probably continue to see this push up. Now this 15-minute close looks a bit interesting. So if we can stay above this support, we should be able to go, should be able to continue higher. So I'll adjust the stop loss to that as well on the 50 minutes. So I'll put the stop loss just below that zone because I don't really want these lows to be taken out. So if I go back to the 50 minute, because now we need to start managing our risk because this trade is taking long. It's not really going as completely as we planned. So I'll put our stop loss just below here and then see if we can potentially look to go higher. So the thing is, now that we do have a new hourly candle, we do have a lot more, can potentially give us a lot more. We've got more time to reach our targets now. So that's a good thing. I think so we did wait a bit longer for this trade, and then we did sort of sit in it longer, but now it does look like it could potentially still pay off quite well. So we'll just stick to this one and then see, what it gives us. Hopefully we can continue to see a push further higher. We've got that nice retest now from that wick. Could potentially come a little bit lower still, but it still does look good. It's a really big thing about having patience in the market. Obviously it can still turn against us, but we do have the opportunity to still go higher. And we are also still following our trading plan as well. So risk is there. Entry point is still there. Still looks good. Obviously, it's not a hideous looking hourly candle. It looks pretty good still. 30-minute candle looks pretty good. So we're still good to go, in my opinion. Okay, so we've started to approach that first target of ours, which we which is the tricky one that we're looking for. The first sort of area to break through. So if we can continue past this, it will be great. But we do need, like I said, we do need to keep this in mind. So I think what we'll do now is to prevent any further losses. We will move the stop loss to break even. Just to prevent this market coming down, because really, if we start past coming down, we already risked enough on this trade. We had that trade earlier, so I will push this trade to break even now and let it run and see if we can get any further trades. Well, sorry, not any further trades. And see if we can get any further profit. Now, if it reaches our target, I will look to close half. Two-thirds of the trade, and then let the rest run to that 86,400 potential. But then we've made back our losses so far already. If you guys did take the previous trade, if not, great, you don't have any losses. But so we've done everything back now. So we made back losses, and we have got some profit on top of that as well. So definitely, what we're seeing now is if we do get like a small term time frame closing this, like a 15-minute time frame, I'll probably look to close this. But if we continue to push further high, we've got about 5 minutes for us to go further higher. If we do close just below this on this 15-minute, I might look at taking a small closing out maybe half my position and letting the rest go higher to that target, and then obviously close it out as we go to try and maximize profits as well. But everything looks pretty good. It's pushing quite nice. We are on a completely risk-free trade now. Not a risk-free day yet because obviously that previous trade, but hopefully this can continue pushing and we will see a nice decent return. Okay, so I mean, we're getting a bit of a rejection now. 12 minutes left in this session. Well, in this candle, this 30-minute candle. So it does look a bit not so nice. We're looking at 15-minute as well. We are seeing that it could potentially come do a retest. So we'll just have to see. Hopefully, it doesn't retest all the way back to our to our stop loss, well, to our break-even area. So let's see. Let's see what this one does. So we're kind of looking at a retest of the zone over here. Hopefully, it doesn't come too low, because it still does look good on the 50-minute time frame, regardless of the wick to the downside. I mean, it's just literally just a break and a retest that we're potentially looking for. Hopefully, the retest doesn't reach too deep, because for me, if it does go below here, I don't really want to be in this trade. It can still potentially go up, but this is about the limit that I want to tolerate for this move to push down into. Looking at the, obviously, okay, so let's have a look at the hourly time frame as well, see what that one looks like. So you can see it's really starting to push down. I don't like this wick on the hourly time frame. It just looks a bit messy for me, so it could start to look a bit like a turnaround area. But it's getting pretty close to that break even of ours now. So we're getting a bit of a we're seeing that pull back up. Came pretty darn close to that stop loss of ours, that break even. So hopefully, it doesn't drop back down in like the blink of an eye. So I think now we should continue to go higher. We've got about 6 minutes for this kind of close. We could possibly get a wick full, push all the way up to here, and hopefully they continue further higher. So this 30-minute time frame. Yeah, so it's it's still looking okay. We've got 6 minutes for this 30-minute candle to prove itself. So let's see what it does. And I mean by that is, so we want to see this six, this candle kind of full, kind of go quite high up. Because the more it's struggling here, the least likely it's going to start pushing. Yeah, okay, so it's pretty much top down. I'm going to close the trade here because it's just not looking that great for me. I'll close it there, guys. Yeah, pretty bad. Really difficult session, really. Didn't really give us that much. I mean, if you're still on this trade, it can still continue to go further higher, but I'm not a big fan of it. 3 minutes for this 50-minute close, and if we look at the 30-minute time frame, we've got 3 minutes for that as well. Big wick to the upside, so chances are probably back, continue to come sort of back into the zone. But yeah, hopefully, guys, hopefully we'll catch some tomorrow. See some more stuff tomorrow. The Asia session is fairly difficult to trade. So, but yeah, we'll see what we can see tomorrow. Hopefully, we get a better session. As long as we stick to our risk reward management, or risk reward everything. You'll eventually end up on the top side, but we'll have good days and bad days, and it seems like today is just another bad day. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy that. Thanks so much for watching, and if you guys have got any questions, feel free to flick them through. You can also go check out my Instagram as well, VDB_trading. But yeah, guys, give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. And also click that subscribe button to help out even more. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a good day.